Hey everyone. So we are here for a beautiful message in divine time for whoever needs it. I did get a message during the pre-shuffle. So the message that I was getting as I was pre-shuffling the decks, the mind is comforting the heart, divine reminders, as spirit watches the heart lean into its mastery, cleaning up after the self. Grieving ghosts feels like attacking yourself. Grieving ghosts being like ghosts of the past, like haunted memories of people, right? Living or past, doesn't matter. Leading by example is the best way to love others. Quote, this is how you protect your heart from misaligned people, end quote. When someone won't move, spirit brings an avalanche. Incorporate yourself into the higher spiritual hierarchy of ascended masters, or bow before them as they teach you how to be of service to yourself. Feeling slighted or blaming the ascended results in sticky spiritual situations you'll need to cut yourself out of. Walking in truth. Walk in truth, or the walls come tumbling down. And when the walls you've built within yourself crash around you, you must face the theater and the character you've been playing. The final act that breaks the fifth wall. Spirit is a master of those who attach themselves to strings. An ascended master teaches the false person their gift. The gift is the inner child who chooses the path of love. This is the journey of life, death, and rebirth. That was the message that I got. Hey, Rita, how you doing? So yeah, big, deep message. After one of the readings yesterday and this week where we were talking about, people birthing in their crown, this is to genuinely help you see that you have reached a certain state of ascension and or are reaching a certain state of ascension in the divine time you catch this message. That people who don't know how to elevate themselves, who don't move, right, who stagnate, Spirit does create avalanches for them, because in the face of an avalanche, you have to move. You cannot stagnate. You have to move, or you're going to get crushed by the avalanche, right? Metaphorically speaking. You have to accept that those who choose to teach you, leading by example, are showing you the way to walk hand in hand with your inner child on a path of love. If you guys have followed me on Navigating the Black Mirror, I had shared a letter with my son and kind of went over a visualization process of this, where you find your inner child on the path of fear and choose to walk the path of love instead. The inner child, when we walk this path of fear and we choose based in fear, our inner child waits at the crossroads. It cannot follow us on the path of fear, and it weeps. Our inner child cries for us to come back, to choose ourselves, to choose to align with love in the inner child. The inner child cannot follow you on the path of fear. It weeps and waits. So when you leave the path of fear, when you turn around and go back to find yourself at the crossroads, and you choose to walk hand in hand with your inner child and apologize to yourself, to allow your inner child to forgive you for the experiences you had to have, and decide indefinitely that you will never walk that path of fear again, that you will never leave your inner child again, and walk that path of love. It is a profound choice that a person makes. This is a journey here of life, death, and rebirth. So, big pre-shuffle message. We're not spinning the wheel today. We're going to do Pineapple Charming instead. I have given Pineapple Charming a good shake off camera because he gets loud. So for those of you who don't know what Pineapple Charming is a discernment pineapple. Okay, there will be a timestamp in the description after I'm done the live. So if you feel like you are already guided to the message, you trust your discernment, it's meant for you, you can skip the charms if you want. Sometimes messages in and of themselves come out during the charms. But this is to help people discern. When they're learning to trust their discernment, Spirit will give them charms to kind of call them out and say, hey, this is definitely a message for you, because one or more of the charms resonates with them. Okay. So, charming. What charms do we have today? Okay. Thank you, charming. It's always a pleasure. Okay. We have amethyst. I was also just drawn to sugilite. Random download. Deeply purple stones. I've also got the tornado. So someone is definitely a mess inside their head. The purple stone will help with that. So if you are a mess inside your head, go get yourself an amethyst or a sugilite or something like that to help you. We've also got a purple moon. Purple may be synchronistic for you. It might be your favorite color. We also have sunshines behind the cloud. The clouds are clearing. So for some, the mental clarity is definitely helping. The sun is starting to shine through despite what was a storm. We also have green eyes. Also reminds me of the Coldplay song. So you might be a Coldplay fan, and or maybe you've seen them in concert or something like that. We've also got Malibu rum. So Malibu, you know, you could live in Hawaii, but it could also be a part of your summer drinks. If you're here in the States, it is the summer, it might be your poison, or someone does, right? Someone might like Malibu rum. We also have a unicorn with a purple heart. We have two unicorns. One unicorn is obviously bigger than the other. This is a little baby. So it might be the inner child, right? Inner child of the unicorn. Okay. We also have a glass of wine. So a wine drinker might be significant, especially if you've had a glass recently and you don't typically drink. We also have our measuring instruments. So taking measurements, whether that's literally or metaphorically, right? Taking measurements, seeing where things are. We also have the shattered heart that's been put back together. So you may have felt at one point that you were in fact shattered, that your heart was shattered, and that spirit letting you know it's back together now, especially if you've been feeling that and just needed the divine confirmation. We also have the star card. So Aquarian energy, Uranian energy, Uranus may be playing a role aspecting on your chart from Gemini, right? Uranus moved into Gemini. Then we have the 5 of diamonds and the 5 of hearts. So 55 may be significant. It's also the 5 of cups and the 5 of pentacles. That's the tarot equivalent from the micro playing cards. So you may have felt or be feeling rather sad and alone, right? That may be a significant feeling that you're moving through, feeling sad and feeling alone. On beads, signs, we have Sagittarius and Capricorn. They could be in your big 3. You could have Uranus in one of those signs. And then we have the letter I. Okay, I. And it's pink, so it's feminine energy. This could just very much be being in that mantra of I, right? Not me, but I, in connection with the one source that is God, spirit, the universe, creator, whatever you want to call it, feminine being in connection. So if any of those charms resonate with you, this message is for you. Okay. Speaking of the message, let me timestamp this. All right, we're going to start with the Harrow, Symbolon, and Kipper to get an idea of who we're talking about. So Spirit, please. What insight do we need into the message as far as like who they are and who or what they're dealing with? We've got the eclipse. With the sickness. And who's the second person or second energy? We've got the survivor. And you can see all the ghosts, right, in the background. My camera will focus. Right? We're talking about grieving ghosts. This is the survivor, and it came out with the desert. Bottom of the deck is the mountain man. All right. I'm going to get all these cards out, and then we're going to dive deep into what they all mean. So from Symbolon, Spirit, please clarify the eclipse and the sickness energy, please. Clarify the sickness with the eclipse energy, please. Person number one. What is the energy around person number one? That is way, way, way too many. Clarify the energy around the eclipse. Okay. Yeah, my deck's upright. So we got the Virgin Mary with the Christ child, but it came out in the reverse. Cancerian energy. Clarify the second person, please. The survivor with the desert. Where'd that card go? There it is. We got the Jester in jail. Capricorn Aquarian energy. Hey Lala, how you doing? Bottom of the deck. Yeah. Taurian energy, Sagittarian energy. This is that energy I was kind of talking about as far as like paying worship, or worship is the wrong word, but it was the word that kept coming up, to the ascended masters, right? Those who have risen into a higher spiritual, quote unquote, pay grade. Those who have mastered certain things in this life. Getting not prison, but like trapped in the tower, like the high tower. Having that high perspective and feeling kind of alone up there, right? Kipper, please, Spirit. What card above all others helps represent person number one? What card do we need from Kipper? Clarify further, person number one. Unexpected income. Unexpected manifestation. Okay. And further clarify person number 2. Marriage came out in the reverse. Okay. Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm doing pretty good. And we've got gift on the bottom. Card's been making an appearance. Okay. All right. So person number 1. We got the eclipse, the theater, the reversed Virgin Mother, and unexpected income. The eclipse. Is a lawful evil card. It's a shadow contract. Okay. The eclipse represents self-doubt and loss of purpose. This card afflicts those with faith in the divine as their talents can wane under the stress. It can also indicate a loss of way along a path. So whoever this person is, like, yeah, they believe in spirit, they believe in the divine, but they are completely lost and doubting themselves. And that is the crux of the issue. And as they continue to doubt and stress, their spiritual gifts or their intuitive gifts go offline. Spirit can't reach them in that energy state. The sickness is neutral evil. The sickness represents plague, pestilence, famine, and dis-ease. It can also indicate corruption of the soul or a multitude of souls. So this person may, in fact, have some really serious soul issues, real serious soul issues that they haven't addressed. And it's probably reflecting in their outer experience with people and energies and souls who are also deeply corrupted or damaged in some way, right? Who are also dealing with this sickness. Who they are in their light is eclipsed out by doubt and stress. They are missing the nurturance of the Divine Mother, Sophia. I'm being really pulled to Sophia. This is about the inner child that we need to nurture, right? This is about the Christ consciousness that we need to nurture from that place of highest wisdom with Sophia. So whoever this person is, yeah, they're seriously lost. The unexpected income card, I really do feel like that's unexpected manifestation, especially because there is a feminine on the card. It's an unexpected manifestation from Sophia. And it's going to require some hindsight, and you can see the house in the background, and that came out, the house card, the other day in one of the reads, talking about a third person, right, who was the house. That came out in the second reading, which was all about that third person, right? They ended up person number 2 in the second reading. I feel like this is an unexpected manifestation to help someone see just how lost they are. This is the gift from the divine, right? That the pre-shuffle energy was picking up on. This is the person being blessed with the lesson. Like, this is how you treat people in misalignment. This is what you do. This is what you do to energy that is misaligned from you. You know, this is how you move forward without disrespecting or dishonoring yourself with a capital S, right? Yourself. This is how you get out of that eclipsed energy. And we are going into eclipse season, literally in real time. So no matter when you catch this in divine time, it's bringing eclipse energy. You know, this is where, especially because on the card, it's a solar eclipse. It's a solar eclipse. This new moon that we're having coming up this Saturday is a partial solar eclipse. And what happens is the moon, the dark side of the moon is seen, and it's blocking out the light of the sun. The sun being the egoic self or the masculine self who's always calling the shots. This is where the feminine blocks out the masculine and calls the shot. The mind cannot choose it. So yeah, unexpected feminine manifestation, the mind cannot choose it. It is happening because the divine feminine, the inner child who is in pain, is calling the shot, saying, you can ignore me. I'm the avalanche, right? The metaphorical avalanche. So person number one is definitely dealing with that energy. Person number two, we have the survivor and the desert. The survivor is neutral good. It represents a person who has been through an ordeal of some kind, surrounded by his fallen comrades. The man represents someone or something lost forever but found once more. It can also represent rebirth. This person, surrounded by their fallen comrades, it's all the people they've had to leave behind. It reminds me, in a sense, of the book of Job, right? Everyone that Job loved and cared about was ripped from them until it was just him in spirit, just him in the divine. This is representing a rebirth after multiple losses. It is a neutral good energy, right? Person number one had two evil cards. Person number one had two evil cards. Person number two has two good cards. The desert is chaotic good. The desert represents an environment so bleak that none can survive it without aid. For those who find that aid, the journey across the waste can lead to great things. This is about navigating through a loveless place, right? The desert holds no water. Water is metaphoric for love. So where there is no water, there is no love in the outer experience. It has to come from within the self, right? If you can listen to the guidance, it will get you out of the desert. It's an environment so bleak that none can survive it without aid. So this person, not only have they gotten, I feel, out of the desert, because they did survive, right? They survived the desert. However, now that they are out of it, they kind of left footprints. You know, it's like I'm getting this visual of like footprints left in the sand, like anybody else who walks through the desert for a short period of time before the environment takes over and the winds of life, you know, throw the footprints away. It's like there's footprints in the sand, like you can follow suit and get and find your way out. You know, this person, they're in good energy. And I feel with this, they're the only ones who got out of the desert. They're the only one. You know, of all the different people that they've loved in their life, they are the only ones who got out. They've had to break commitments over and over and over again because they were not committed to themselves in the past. Their masculine and feminine were not in union. The head space was not choosing in alignment with the heart space, and life was painful. Right? When we don't choose an alignment with the heart space, it's not because we're not choosing who and what we love. It's because we're not choosing based on the feelings of this feels good and this feels bad. Like, we need to make that distinction super clear. I will repeat that message a million times. Choosing from the heart is not about letting love lead the way and choosing who you love, because who you love, if you have not healed, who you quote unquote love is a trauma bond, because you want to love the self on a very higher dimensional level. You want to love yourself. And in order to get there, you need that painful teacher to push you into loving yourself. So when we are attracted to people and we love people so much and we give them a million fucking chances, like, first off, if they blow the first chance, if they blow it one time, you need to teach them indefinitely what it feels like, because to go back over and over and over again, it is painful. It is painful. You have to teach other people how to love the self. See, when someone lies to you and breaks your trust, when someone betrays your trust, you walk and you don't look back. They're not on that level. You have to honor the self, right? This person got out of the desert. They got out. the loveless place where they were in disconnection with themselves. They found their way out. This is the Ascended Master coming up from the pre-shuffle. Hey, Kristen, how you doing? This is the Ascended Master. So person number 1 and person number 2 were divinely connected at one point. Person number 2 got out of the desert alone. Person number 1 was not listening to the guidance, right? They weren't listening to the guidance. They weren't applying the wisdom. They weren't listening to their heart space and acting from a place of self-love. Like, they were eclipsed out their light with their shadow feminine energy, who doesn't know how to receive good energy, right? Shadow feminine does not know how to receive positive, honorable, loving, gratuitous connections. They sabotage it out, right? High aligned people can't stay around that energy. They sabotage it out. So this person is showing them there's no better way to love somebody than to lead by example. This is how I got out of the desert. You can follow in my footsteps, at least for a time. And when all else fails, you're going to have to listen to that inner guide, because there is no love from the outside world telling you how to do it. It has to come from a place of within. So we've got person number 1 and we've got person number 2. So Spirit, what is going on? This is the Forest of Enchantment Tarot. What is going on with person number 1 right now? What is going on with person number 1 right now? What insight, please, is in our highest good to understand? We've got the Keeper of Spells. Okay. What else? The 5 of Boons. That's the 5 of Pentacles that came out in the micro playing cards with the charms. We also have the Ace of Spells. It's the Ace of Wands. The Dragon. And the 3 of Spells. Lots of wands. Clarities, please. Clarify the Keeper of Spells. With the 7 of Pentacles, the 7 of Boons. Clarify the 5 of Boons. We've got the 4 of Visions, or the 4 of Cups in the reverse. Clarify the Ace of Wands, the Ace of Spells. We've got the Enchanted Wheel, so the Wheel of Fortune. And clarify the 3 of Spells. The 7 of Challenges, which is the 7 of Swords. Okay. Okay. Person number 1. Looking at their card, the King of Wands, which is the Keeper of Spells, with the 7 of Boons. This person has not quite mastered visualization. The 7 of Boons is just, it's not quite there. It's not enough. They do not visualize themselves as good enough. They have a really hard time with it. They don't know what path to choose. They don't, they're not confident in themselves or their ability to visualize their highest good. They don't know what their highest good looks like. And so I feel like their vision of what their highest good is constantly changing instead of being definitive. They haven't figured it out yet. The 5 of Boons with the 4 of Visions in the reverse. I feel like this person, I feel like they feel like they're so far from quote unquote home, but they're not that far, you know, and feeling the 4 of Cups in the reverse, like that spirit saying you're closer than you think, but you're only as far away as you believe you are. You know, like you're closer than you think, but you're as far away as you believe that you are. You don't have to be so far away. You might be closer than you think. Like this person, like I said, is dealing with the avalanche because Spirit was like, you have to move. You can't just stay there, because if the 2 people stay there on the 5 of Boons and they don't get up and move, they won't see the house that's right there with the path leading to it. That's right there, but they have to move. They're closer than they realize. The Ace of Wands with the Wheel of Fortune, the Dragon, the dream catcher type energy, right? With the wheel, the sacred spiral. I feel, if anybody knows what kind of birds they are, let me know. So I'm being drawn to that bird, but I don't know what kind of bird that is. Right? I want to say like a lark or something, but this is a spiritual fire being lit under the ass. Okay, so this person really needed it because, like I said, this person is a faith-filled person. They are a believer in the divine. They're just stuck. They are in their own way without courage or confidence in themselves and being able to choose, right? We had that doubt energy that was overriding everything, a lack of confidence, thinking too small, right? Thinking too small for themselves. Spirit lit a fire. Spirit lit a fucking fire. The 3 of Wands with the 7 of Challenges. Like, they have to realize that Spirit lighting this fire, it really is like Hail Mary time. You know, it's a Hail Mary. And if they don't get on the ball, the path, right, with the 3 of Wands, the path, every other light is going to move forward with the flow and they're going to get left behind. Their path or their journey will be stolen from them, right? The 7 of Challenges is the 7 of Swords. It's the thieves. They will deceive themselves out of it. And they're too close to quit. You know, Spirit's like, you're too close to quit. It is throwing Hail Marys at this person. Bottom of the deck is the Child of Challenges. That's the Page of Swords. And on the top of the deck, we've got the Hermit. This person has to go back to beginner's mind and do some seriously deep digging with themselves. Seriously deep digging. Let's see if my camera will focus. Yeah. It's like this person knows. The Hermit is wise, right? They have all of this wisdom. It just has to be applied. It has to be applied. I'm being drawn to the fact that there's like papers written and a book open here with a quill. Like if you journal, you should go back and read your journal and see where the hell you've been and where your energy has been focused, and maybe find some golden nuggets in there from yourself. Divine reminders, right? Things that you wrote down, communications. It's all masculine energy that was coming out in the pre-shuffle, like the mind comforting the heart as it cleans the self up. It's about the inner work. It's about the inner work and applying the wisdom. Like someone is so close. Someone is so close. But they are seriously at risk of being lost in the desert without a way out. They just can't lose the trail. You know what I mean? They can't lose the trail. So person number 1 needs to reset. Mentally, they need to reset. I think that came out big in one of the readings yesterday too, right? A huge mental reset for someone. This eclipse season's no joke, guys. It's no joke. Let's get into person number 2. This is the Wildwood Tarot. Where is person number 2, the survivor with the desert cruise? Hey, Kelly, how you doing? What is going on with person number 2, please? What is in our highest good insight to understand? We've got temperance, balance. That's that Sagittarius energy that came out in the charms. What else? What else? The Ace of Vessels, which is the Ace of Cups, came out in the reverse. We also have the Page of Vessels with the Otter. And the Green Woman with the Empress. That Ace of Cups reverse literally falls right underneath the desert. It's almost like they went through a purging. Where Spirit denied them the Ace of Cups in order to help them find balance and get back to beginner's heart, right, with the Page of Cups. They came out the Empress. They came out in their high feminine energy. Whatever Spirit did, it worked. Let's get clarity on this. We've got the Six of Vessels, the Six of Cups. Lots of water energy for this person. And the Five of Bows, which is the Five of Wands. It's almost like they were conflicted, right? If they had to take love away, right? That Ace of Cups, if they had to take the love away from person number 1, it didn't come without conflict. Clarify the Page of Vessels. We have the Nine of Arrows, which is the Nine of Swords. Again, like Archer energy, Sag energy. And the King of Stones, the Wolf. By themselves, right? Lone Wolf energy. Master Manifester with the Empress. What a combination. We've got the Green Man or the Emperor on bottom. They've got high masculine, high feminine, Emperor and Empress energy out. And on the top, they have the Fool. That's that Jester energy, right? She's walking on a rainbow. She's walking on the rainbow bridge. This person ascended. This person ascended and they can't go back. Now that they've ascended, they cannot go back. They cannot go back to the low vibrations. They can't. Once you ascend to a certain level, the butterfly cannot go back to being the caterpillar. It cannot go back. This person ascended. So whatever person number 2 is doing, they did apply wisdom, which is what they're teaching person number 1. Apply the wisdom. Ascend. Rise out. Get out of the desert where you are being deprived of love from everywhere. That's the thing about the desert. It deprives you of love energy from everywhere. So if person number 2 was the water in person number 1's world, Spirit pretty much guided them like, hey, you got to take the water away. You got to take the water away, because so long as you're carrying all the water, they don't care about getting out of the desert. But if you get out of the desert with the water, they have no choice but to find water. They have no choice. It's the avalanche. It is the manifestation of the inner child. Person number 2 could not help the quote unquote medicine that person number 1 was asking of them. When you got to leave, you got to leave. I put up a post earlier on Facebook. I'll read it to you guys because it was about lovability. It was about lovability. Give me 2 seconds. I'm pulling it up. It says, please remember, their inability to love you does not reflect your lovability. It only reflects how deeply or shallowly they love themselves. Some people leave because they love themselves too much to tolerate your inability to love them, because you've not yet met them on the level of love for yourself that they deserve. Others leave because they can't get you down low enough on your self-love, and competing with you reminds them of how unlovable they believe they are. They haven't met themselves deeply enough in love to rise to meet you there. Either way, when someone leaves, it does not reflect your lovability, just their inability to be your vibrational equal based on how deeply or shallowly they love themselves. Everybody deserves best love energy there is. And people who are more aware of that than others, of their deservingness of good energy, will not tolerate people who show up with less and offer them less. People who break trust, they will not tolerate it. And those who do break trust and don't care and believe themselves unlovable and treat people like whatever, they'll leave people of a higher vibration to try and bring them down on their level, bring them down to their vibration of love. See, I'm not enough, and neither are you. You're not enough, or I would give you more, but I don't. I would treat you better, offer you better, but I don't, because you're not good enough. And they try and bring people down. But it doesn't reflect your lovability. It only reflects how deeply they love themselves. So if person number one, the survivor, the person who got out of the desert, the loveless place, because obviously person number one was not meeting them on the same vibration of love. It was not the same. 99% is not 100. If person number two is at 100, literally in ascended master territory, they wouldn't have gotten that high if they didn't reach 100. Spirit would not be talking about ascended master status. And all of the years I have been reading on this channel, never has Spirit ever said that anybody I was reading for had reached an ascended master level. Someone hit 100. And someone else was showing up with 99, and Spirit said, I can't bring you forward with 99. They're at 100. It's a vibrational law. It's the universal law of attraction. Like attracts like. 99% is not 100. The avalanche had to happen because person number one is capable of being at 100, or Spirit would not have had the avalanche hit them like this. You've got to remember that in your lives. When you let go of people, when you set those healthy boundaries for yourself and say, no, this is the love that I deserve. You will not give me less. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You know, I went live this morning talking about a soul sister of mine who did reach out to me. But not once did she deny anything I said. She didn't deny anything I said. I had been talking to her for months. I had talked to her on the phone. I was with her in person. At one point, I was with her in person, helping her. There was multiple warnings. And if you watch that video, then you know damn right well that she betrayed a very deep spiritual trust with what we had, a gift that we were given. Like, yeah, we all make mistakes, but when you're at 99%, That last 1% is huge. It is the biggest 1%. And spirit's at 100. It will teach you before it tolerates. It will teach you before it tolerates. I would not tolerate it. Like, how could you do that? Like, I understand the why. Yeah, I understand it. I don't hold any animosity. I still love her. But I can't go back to 99% and think that that treatment was okay. The abuse of our gift was okay. It was not okay. It was not okay. And I feel really in alignment with the choice that I made. I don't have any regrets. That's how I know I'm in alignment. There is no regrets. I made the best choice there was. You've got to be able to choose in your highest good and hold that boundary so hard. There is no such thing as second chances. Be the avalanche. It's not a scare like, oh, a couple rocks tumbled down. Let's get nervous. Is it really going to fall apart? Oh, no. Okay, then let's just stand around and do nothing then. Hey, Kiki Law. Let's just stand around and not grow. It's not really falling apart. No, be the avalanche. Be the avalanche. Integrity. Through and through. You either have it or you don't. You either sacrifice your integrity or you don't. You either hold yourself in honor or you don't. You either hold those who honor you and love you in the same energy or you don't. And then you have to decide if you want to continue being that. Does that work for you? Yes or no? Integrity works for me. Honor works for me. It always has, and it continues to every day. My life was fucking wild and crazy and full of crazy, painful shit before I chose to honor myself. To come out of those woods, that path of fear, and go find my inner child sitting at the crossroads and say, I will never leave you again. I went through that visualization with myself. You really should check out Navigating the Black Mirror. All my links are in the description. It's on my Substack, the letter to my son, the love letter. I went through that visualization with myself. And it was so profound. It was so important. If I held my son to that same integral standard and let him know you're either going to walk this path of love with me or I have to let you go. If I can make that integral statement to my son, I don't understand how any of my soul family or my best friends could possibly imagine me not holding them to the same standard. Integrity or bust. Love or bust. Love or bust. Hold people to the highest standard there is. Hold them to the highest spiritual standard there is. Do not accept less. Put yourself at 100% integrity and do not fail yourself. Trust yourself. Trust your alignment wholly and fully. Feel so safe and nurtured by the divine inside that space that you would not dishonor the divine in their house. That you would not dishonor the divine in their courtroom. Never dishonor. There is no egoic fear-based agenda, goal, worth, sacrificing your fucking honor. There is no egoic manifestation, fear-based manifestation, worth you sacrificing your integrity for it, sacrificing spirit for it, sacrificing love for. Not one. Not one. Person number one and anybody else who would do that needs to reality check their integrity and why they thought it was okay. Why they thought it was okay to dip out of that vibration. And the ramifications of what happens when you do. Sticky situations, right? Pre-shuffle. Sticky spiritual situations. Person number two cannot grieve person number one without attacking themselves, dishonoring themselves. How are you going to grieve someone who didn't show up with love in the highest for you? Grief is a low vibrational energy. It manifests more sadness. There is nothing to be sad about. Person number two got to love person number one in the best, highest way there is by showing them and leading the way, by leaving the footprints in the sand. It's a gift, right? Pre-shuffle energy. It is a gift. The gift that person number two, the ascended master, leaves person number one is the gift of the inner child who chooses the path of love. That is the gift they gave. This is what it looks like. And now that you've seen it, you can choose it, right? Children mimic. We do what we learn. We do what we learn from watching other people. Okay, now you've seen what it looks like. You've seen what choosing the path of love looks like. When people dishonor you and make you believe that you are less than enough, I will not believe that. I will not be made to believe that I am less than enough and that I don't deserve 100. Even if that does leave me by myself. Even if it does leave you, the survivor, by yourself, it is not worth it. Having people around you that don't show up for you 100, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. I will show up 100 every day for the people that I love and the people that I don't and the people I'm indifferent towards. I will show up with 100 every day. And should I ever fall from that grace, I would hope and pray that that person would call me right the fuck out and cut me off and never speak to me again, to make sure I never forgot what it was like to have love and lose. This is the message for today. Let's pull some guidance. We're going to go white light oracle. Put your standards so high the divine would be proud of you. That the divine would be able to call you out and say, hey, just FYI, you've ascended, butterfly. You've ascended. Thank you. I'm willing and able to call you an ascended master now. Hold your standards so high. Karma of Kutuhala. Karma of Kutuhala. Bird energy. Fly high. Card number 43. 4 is the number of stability and archangels. And number 3 is the vibration of ascended masters. To the 7, which is divine intervention and divine miracle. Card number 43. You know I love this one because I highlighted in it. It says, your sacred soul passion is powerful enough to shift the state of your inner reality and your outer experience. So commit to what truly ignites your heart and do not be dissuaded by anything or anyone. Know that no matter what appears to be, you shall prevail, you shall arise. Kutuhala is a Sanskrit term that translates as that which excites wonder. Even if it doesn't seem like it will lead us anywhere practical, following our bliss can allow for something beautiful and deeply fulfilling to unfold. We often pursue what is sensible and secure, yet what could be more appropriate or divinely and delightfully inappropriate than pursuing a path so fascinating, so utterly mesmerizing to the spirit that no matter what challenges arise, you feel so much love and commitment and passion you shall not turn away. That is the stuff of greatness. We might call it being led by our hearts. Kutuhala is permission to do just that. The shadow side, or unconscious pursuit, doesn't involve the heart, but rather the restless mind which acts from fear and avoidance rather than using passionate devotion as its foundation. The commitment that emerges out of true kutuhala is not about clipping one's wings, but about growing them and learning how to fly skillfully. Without commitment, one takes a leap, tries to fly, fails, and rather than going through the process again and again until there is understanding that leads to mastery, one tries innumerable other things instead, never giving any a chance to settle and evolve. There is inherent wisdom in kutuhala. Allow yourself to stumble, to not know, to become the holy mess that precedes sacred rebirth. Don't allow the ego to tell you that the struggle must be a sign a path isn't right for you, and thus drag you away in search of a substitute paradise. We often think of karma as negative, but positive karma is our connection to guiding grace, the soul's delight that empowers us to live with joy and rapture. We can cultivate positive karma in the way we live our life from the heart with forgiveness, a sense of worth, and gentleness in our hearts. Small steps can lead to great accomplishments when we stick to a path. Be patient in your passion and you shall go far. This oracle encourages you to recognize that in its own inimitable way, spirit is practical. It just tends to go via the deliriously astonishing and deeply healing route. Trust what you love and let your heart lead you. You and your life shall become luminous, sanctified in the grace of alchemical transformation. An unexpected and miraculous arising is at hand. May all beings be guided lovingly to fulfill their highest divine destiny. What a profound card for this read. What a profound card for this read. Think about that. It was talking about the shadow side or unconscious pursuit, right? That doesn't involve the heart, but rather the restless mind, which acts from fear and avoidance rather than passionate devotion to spirit as the foundation. That's what person number 1 ended up doing. They tapped into that shadow side where they were afraid and avoidant rather than listening to that devotion of spirit that says it's okay. Trust in the unknown, right? Deeply fulfilling things unfold. What could be more appropriate than pursuing the path so fascinating and so mesmerizing that spirit would challenge you to rise, to feel so much love, and passion, and be committed to that you can't turn away from it. That which excites wonder. Following the heart, right? Following and listening to how the heart feels. That it either feels good or it doesn't. To follow love, what you love to feel. Do you love to feel in doubt of yourself? Do you love the feeling that took place when you denied your integrity and tried to control something with fear? Did you like the way that result felt? Stop choosing out of alignment of integrity. Follow the way the heart feels, what you love to feel. And if you don't love fear, then don't give into it. Don't give into it. I don't like being afraid of losing this. Then don't give in to fear and don't lose it. I don't like being afraid of losing my financial stability. Then trust that when you act in alignment with what you do love, beyond a doubt, that the financial stability is taken care of because the divine loves you and you're choosing a high path. Let yourself be mesmerized. Truly. Trust in the truth. It does not feel good to lie. It does not feel good to dishonor. It does not feel good to betray. Guilt does not feel good. Denial does not feel good. So don't choose things that would result in those feelings. I cannot imagine it felt good for my soul sister to use our special gift against herself, dishonoring me and what I valued in it in the process because I couldn't trust it anymore. She's using it for herself. She's using our gift to validate her fear and took no consideration into how that might affect me. Like I wouldn't know. Like spirit wouldn't tell me. Like spirit wouldn't clue me in. And I trust myself. It could not feel good for my soul sister to do that. I hope she never chooses it again. Never. With anyone. The lessons we learn when we walk a path of fear. Spirit will teach you before it tolerates you. Spirit will teach you before it tolerates you. Spirit does not accept less than 100, and it is a master of puppets. People who attach themselves to strings and chords of people. Attach themselves to characters in the play. Characters on the stage in a theater, puppets. If you attach yourself to a character, if you attach yourself to an ego, I tell people all the time, spirit this, spirit that. It's not about me. It's not about me. I go live because spirit guides me to. It's not because Grace wants to go live for whatever Grace's reason is. Grace is live because spirit guides me here. I create what I create because spirit guides me to. I connect with people because I'm guided to, and I disconnect from people because I'm guided to. It is not about me. This is about spirit. This is about being in tune with your highest self. Your highest self is spirit. Take yourself, your egoic self, out of the equation. It's not about what I want. I want to be her friend forever. It's not about what I want. It's about the healing. It's about why we're here. It's about spirit. That can be applied to every single person in your life and should be. It is not about what you want. It is about spirit and what spirit requires of us and needs from us in order to heal back to ourself. Spirit wants us all to come back. You think that people guide us to call our soul pieces back to us as a coincidence. You don't think Spirit is calling all of us, its soul pieces, back to it? Spirit's calling us all back. All of us who are attached to these strings, attached to these characters, these names, these places, these people, these jobs, these families, these fill in the blanks. Spirit said, cut the cord between you and this facade of a self. You are not who you think you are. You are a facet of me. Come back. Come back. Give your soul piece back to Spirit. Cut the cords from your egoic self, your fearful self, and go back to love. I swear, God's name is love. It's love. Nothing but love. I will be that. I will choose that. Every day I will be that. I will be love every day. No matter what that requires of me. Wake up every morning, right? Morning mantra, Spirit, whatever you would have me do, whatever you would have me say, wherever you would have me go, if it is in the highest good of all of us, so be it. Every morning. I still say it every day. Whatever you would have me do, whatever you would have me say, wherever you would have me go, if it is in the highest good of all, so be it. Say it every day. Give yourself to love. Give yourself to Spirit. Trust. Huge message. Trust. No one is exempt. No one is outside of Spirit's sight. The truth is always there. And Spirit will tell it. Spirit will tell it. That's why I trust Spirit so much. I will not dishonor Spirit, and Spirit never dishonors me. Spirit would never sit back and let me be dishonored. And it will do the same for you. Of course it will. Choose love today. Choose that today. See where life takes you. When you cut out all of the crazy bullshit that you have attached yourself to. And give yourself back to the source you are a part of. Give your soul peace back. Be that ascended master and show others the way. Accept that beautiful divine upgrade. That is Spirit's gratitude for you. For living in Spirit's vibration. Thank you. Thank you for living in Spirit's vibration. And not being afraid to walk side by side with love. There is no greater peace that you will feel in this life or any life in any time, space, or dimension. There is no greater peace that you will ever feel than walking side by side with love. Walking side by side with Source. There is no greater feeling. Trust and believe that. You are worth that. You deserve that. That when you do, at some point, leave this physical body, you find yourself moving forward and not having to come back here attached to strings, forgetting who you are. A misplaced piece. Go home to that safe place. The metaphoric home that is the safe haven. Spirit is home. Life is not meant to be hard. It's meant to be loved. It's meant to be loved. I love all of you guys. I love all you guys. I appreciate y'all so much for tuning in. I appreciate y'all for dropping likes. I appreciate all the new subscribers that we've had. We've had quite a few new subscribers pop in over the last couple weeks. I appreciate y'all for taking the time to do that and hit that button. That means the world to me and the channel. It helps me grow. And it helps these messages reach people. So thank you for being a part of that beautiful ripple. I appreciate you greatly. And until we next meet, y'all, love and spirit find you.